Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. I wasn't really going to make this video, but I was going to make it next weekend, but I figured why not make an estimate of the estimate as far as YMAX and YMAG are concerned, and of course ULTY. So real quick, as you know, YMAX, if you go to the YieldMax website, YMAX, YMAG and ULTY, they have their own distribution schedule under the Fund of Funds ETF. Well, it says what? Fund of Funds and Ultra ETFs. So their next distribution or declaration date, it's actually cut off, but it's the following week. X date is 5/14, but I believe declaration date is the 13th. I have it on my other sheet in a second. Let me go there actually. Oh no, so deck date is the 14th. X date. See, you go landscape on these websites on the phone, and this is what happens. It's a mess. All right, so it looks like it pushed it over. So yeah, declaration date is May 14th. That's Tuesday, but that's not this coming Tuesday. That's the following Tuesday. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an estimate of the estimate. Right now, why not? Because we can. And why can I do that? I'll show you why. So if I go to the website, we just had let me go to the other schedule. The covered call ETFs just had their ex dividend date is the 6th, which is tomorrow. So you had to own the shares the day prior, the trading day prior. So whatever YMAX and YMAG owned as of Friday is what they're going to get distributions on, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. So that means if you go to the YMAX, again, the reason I just want to explain to you guys how exactly I get the estimates so you understand, what I'm doing. It's not just me throwing up numbers. There's, using the actual data. Because if you go to YMAX Holdings, again, this was as of the Friday close essentially. This is what they held in shares for every single holding, okay? And all of these qualify for the distribution, all right? All of those shares. So if you see, MSTR is now on there, so that's good. So that's YMAX, and then of course there's YMAG, and these are the shares that they owned as of the Friday close. So all of these shares are gonna qualify for the next distribution. Anything they buy after is not gonna qualify, right? Because Monday is ex-dividend date. So let's get into it. Hopefully that made sense. Now you can see I plugged all of those numbers into this spreadsheet. So first off, I put, the outstanding shares that they owned. This is YMAG. I'll zoom in for YMAG purposes. Hold on. There you go. That's better. All right, so this is YMAG. So for example, they owned 480,157 shares of Tesla. And then we have the May actual payments. So what do we use? We use the actual payment. So we go to the announcement that they said, and we go to Tesla, and they announced 0.6942. So if we go back, that's what I plugged in. So how do we get what they're getting paid on Tesla? Well, you take the outstanding shares, 483,157, and you times it by 0.6942, and that's a payment of $335,408, which happens to be 6.38% of their payment, okay? And we kind of just go down the line, and we'll just go down the line. OARC, we have Aptly, NVIDIA. We'll see, percentage-wise, this is what percent, how big their payment is as compared to the total payment. So you can see who are the big payers. And I'll zoom out a little so it's easier to look at now. So going down the line, who's the big payer? Look at Coney. It's 11.32% of the payment belongs to Coney. So we all need to thank Coney. Obviously if you own Coney, you thank them enough. But if you own YMAX, you need to thank them more. Keep going. 6% PP, they did pretty good this month. Squeeze, same thing. And then look at the very bottom, Misty holding their own, 9.27%. All right, guys, so the total payment for the YMAX fund is $5,258,163. That's what I am showing. They are gonna get paid, come payment date, essentially. And the outstanding shares as of today, or we'll say Friday, 6,050,000. Okay. Now, before I get into the payment, we have a lot of days until, well, actually, no, I'll show you what the payment is based on those shares. It's 87 cents, which is a yield of 50.97%. However, we have a week and like a day for people to buy into this fund in order to qualify for the distribution, because we need to share the 5.2 million with other shareholders that can still buy in. So guess what I did? I went down here and I have 6 million, obviously the 6 million number, and I subtracted out the 4.9 million number. That was from last month. That's how many shares, outstanding shares there were. And we went up by 1.1 million, and that's over 21 days. So that's an increase of 22% in shares. And I calculated what's the increase per day. It's about 1.09%. Okay. So how many days until declaration date? Well, we have 11 days. So our cushion as of right now is 11.97%. So I had to add 11.97% outstanding shares into my calculation for my estimate of the estimate. All right, let's see the end result. Okay, so as you see, it rounds up to a 12% cushion. 12% cushion is an additional 723,894 shares. That produces, that shows 6,773,000 shares, which produces a 78-cent distribution, 45% yield. That is still pretty massive. I mean, what was last month? At the time, well, the yield is probably still going off the current price. I think it was around 40%, but it's showing 36% right now. But either way, I mean, that cushion may have to grow. Like maybe I'm being too soft on that because more people buy into the fund, like closer to the declaration date. So maybe I should consider that too. But as of right now, using just plain, numbers and methods, that's what I have an estimate for, 78 cents. So I'm going to do this video next weekend with closer numbers. And then basically I'll have to make a cushion for essentially, I think, just the one day. And obviously that estimate will be a little more accurate. This is an estimate of an estimate, which shows 78 cents, which it may be right or it may be too high. Again, we don't know. So what about YMAG? Well, let me go up here. YMAG, again, they invest in the Magnificent Seven. And in summary, who's the biggest payer of the Magnificent? It's actually Tesla, believe it or not. I thought I heard someone say they got booted from the Magnificent Seven. I don't even know if that's true or not, but either way, they're still in this fund. But the total payment is showing 1.598 million, and outstanding shares as of today is 2,150,000. That's a payment of 74 cents, which is 44% yield. Their cushion, using the same methodology below, comes to 7.68%. So if we take that, which basically rounds to 8%, and we add an additional 165,175 shares, we get 2,315,000 shares. So that comes to an estimate of 69 cents, which is a 41% yield. That's still pretty damn good. But I'm showing YMAX is paying better than YMAG. But if both are yielding 40% or above, these funds have done their job. These funds are really, really good. Like even if YMAX ends up paying 40%, I'm still happy with that. But 78 cents, that's really good, man. If we go back, I have the other payments here. That's a big payment because last month they paid 63 cents and 62 cents. So if we go to this month, that's a big increase. I mean, YMAG's still in the 69 cents, high 60s, but I don't know. YMAX seems a little high. So again, the cushion is based on the average increase in outstanding shares. So that may or may not need to be modified based on how many people jump into the fund. But guess what? We can go through this whole week. I can update the numbers and I could see, what was the average, percent increase per day over this week? And I can modify my estimate for the following month. Because anyway, if the declaration, if there's always a gap of 2 weekends, I can always do the estimate of the estimate if you guys want to see this. But either way, these are my numbers as of right now, which obviously are subject to change next weekend. So again, YMAX, 78 cents, 45% yield. YMAG, 69 cents, 41% yield. Okay, what about ULTY? Well, ULTY I handle differently. You just don't know with ULTY. So this is more of like a fund review for ULTY, which I'll do real quick. Just to see what kind of funds they owned, and then we'll review like what's their implied volatility, what's their average implied volatility. So as of right now, these are the funds that they own. So we'll go through them. They own Affirm Holdings, CleanSpark, Coinbase, Enphase, GigaCloud, MicroStrategy, B. Riley Financial. Make that bigger. Root, Supermicrocomputer. I always say that's like the nerdiest name of a company. Symbiotic Inc. No idea what that is. Vertiv Holdings. I think they've been in there. And then Wolfspeed. Wolfspeed been in there too. And then I take that and I get an average IV. And if they pay based on IV, they're going to pay 92.67%. Okay, that's easy enough. ULTY is priced at 1540. Because it's been doing horrible, unfortunately, but that's where we're at. So if you take the 1540 and you multiply it by the average IV of 92.67%, and you divide that by 12, you get $1.19, okay? $1.19. So again, I'll do this again next weekend. But again, my ULTY estimate is really just based on IV, which is a simplicity method. Anybody can do this based on the average. So it's not as, complex. It took me a decent amount of time to do YMAX and YMAG. So hopefully you guys appreciated that one. This one's a little easier. I could do this, no problem. So anyway, what else do you want to know? Well, if you look at the fund, what they own in ULTY, are they at all-time highs or are they at all-time lows? Well, it looks like most of them at the top or near all-time highs. Enphase is near the low though, so that's good. Who else is near the low? B. Riley at least is near the low. Symbiotic is near the low, and Wolfspeed is near the low. So that's a decent amount of, because again, we want some of these to have, not just tank when they add them to the fund, because that's going to bring down ULTY. I don't know how these funds are going to perform. Obviously, we're familiar with Coinbase and Mister. So again, like I said, when I sold out of Coinbase, guys, not Coinbase, Coney, I knew I still own it through ULTY and through YMAX. So I'm still happy about that. And I trust they will continue to perform well. So we'll see. I don't know about these others like Affirm, CleanSpark. Who knows? They're at all-time highs though, right? So that could be scary. Look at this one. GigaCloud, 80%, at the all-time high, like 80%. So they're 20% away from the all-time high. That's crazy. Oh my God, Vertiv, they're almost at the all-time high. I'm sorry guys, 52-week high, not all-time high. Anyway, those are the estimates for YMAX, YMAG, and ULTY. And again, I will do one next weekend, which will be the true estimate. This one is the estimate of the estimate, okay? So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, a little kind of sneak peek. If you want me to do this every month, assuming we have 2 weekends before the ex-dividend date, the declaration date for YMAX, then let me know, and I will continue to do it. I'll just have to remember, or you guys will have to remind me. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment, so hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. And if you were, please hit the like button. It really, really helps. So I appreciate all you guys, and take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever day it is. All right. Take care. Bye.